Okay, now I would like to show you a couple of games from this book, Chess Warrior, The Life and Games of Geza Maroczy, where Maroczy plays a blindfold simul against 10 opponents. So that's why I find it interesting, okay? As you can see, in this book there are really a lot of different stories, a lot of different games. So this is game 120, Maroczy Amateur Subotica Blindfold Simul on 10 boards, played on June 22nd, 1922. E4, E5, D4, E takes D4, F4. This move is considered dubious, okay? With this move order, we transpose to the so-called Alas Gambit, which was used steadfastly by Dr. Georgi Alas 1919, 2017. So this chess player lived 98 years, wow, during the second half of the 20th century. Knight c6, knight f3, bishop c5. The bishop check was worth considering, says Maroczy, so he would have thought that black played this. Let's see. Bishop d3, obviously blocking this from moving. d6 for opening the diagonal for that light square bishop. h3, knight f6, castle, castle. Knight bd2, bishop d7, and this is dubious, this bishop d7. a3, bishop b6, g4. White's opening is based on a kingside pawn storm, so initiating it offers the only counterplay. This was a note by Maroczy. Queen e7, king h1, king h8, rook g1, and knight g8. This is a dubious move, okay? Knight f1, hopla, f6, bishop d2, and knight d8, another dubious move. Both sides are playing according to their plans, but black's passivity allows white to get the better position. Queen e2, c5, knight g3, and knight c6. Here Maroczy says that this was a serial alternative. Yes, it makes sense, honestly. Black is very passive. He's not trying to do anything to attack white, honestly, so it's really bad. Rook g2, rook a e8, rook a g1, bishop c7, knight f5, and is attacking this, queen d8, and queen f2, sorry. This move serves as prelude to the upcoming combination. But obviously, he wants to attack the king. And now black played g6. Here there is a line which shows instead knight c e7, and the line is kind of long, more than 12 moves, okay? And in the end the position is unclear, okay? So queen h4. White is complicating matters and manages to confuse black. Retreating the knight would have been illogical owing to white's concentrated forces, and this is Maroczy's opinion. So it is basically a psychological sacrifice, one that should not have been accepted. Advancing with a test move was by no means a simple matter in view of a number of defensive pieces. So black played this move that is not a good idea, it's a mistake, but luckily Maroczy played g5, that is also considered a mistake by us. But Maroczy gave an exclamation point to g5, and let's see, according to him, did not see the person who was watching the game, so not him because he was in blindfold mode. He didn't see this move coming. But again, is not really a good move, it seems. Okay. Let's see what happened. F takes g5. Knight takes g5. Okay. Rook e7. Maroczy says black should have played this, but in reality here black is winning at this point. At least this is what the book says. I guess the book was checked with the stockfish, and that's the reality of it. E takes f5, knight f6. This is dubious. It seems that black is getting out of all kinds of danger, and this position can be shattered only by an additional sacrifice. This is Maroczy speaking. Let's see. Knight e6, bishop takes e6, f takes e6, and then there is a blunder, which is rook takes e6. So it seems that after this move, the best one was this one, okay? c4, bishop takes c4, and d5. Clearly, black didn't find such idea. I'm sorry for him, but this is the problem. No? Generally, when you play in a simul, sometimes you have to answer, and so it's a problem. f5. Rook e7, bishop h6, rook f7, and rook g6. This is the key move of the combination. Now it is difficult to find a decent reply. So if this is the case, our friend Maroczy, also in blindfold, was able to calculate more than 3 moves ahead. So that's kind of interesting, right? So let's see what happens. H takes g6, bishop g7, king takes g7, rook takes g6, king f8, queen h8, knight g8, and here white gave a checkmate with rook takes g8. I hope you enjoyed this game. I wanted to show you also the game 121, that is also a blindfold from the same simul that it gave. So let me put the pieces back. Okay, so this is game 121. Maroczy is white, and the amateur, of which we don't have a name, is black. Maroczy is blindfold. e4, e5, knight f3, d6, d4, bishop g4, d takes e5, bishop takes f3, queen takes f3, and d takes e5. I find interesting the fact that we are watching a game that is 102 years old, because this game was played in 1922, okay? Bishop c4, knight f6, queen b3, attacking, queen e7. Now you must be careful. If you take here, black can play queen b4, so you must be careful. Knight c3. This for Maroczy was a better move than taking the pawn on b7, obviously. c6, bishop g5, b6. And it seems that here there was a Morphy game in which one of his opponents played b5 instead of b6. That's interesting. But after b5, obviously Morphy played knight takes b5 because Morphy was clearly Mr. Combination. Okay, so after bishop g5, b6, castle long side, knight b d7, and queen a4. Wow, what a move! What a move! That's interesting. And here, obviously, you need to ask yourself why black cannot play b5, forking. Okay? h6, queen takes e6, rook d8. Yeah, it looks like one of the famous Morphy games. Queen d5, queen c5, knight c7, king e7. And here there is a diagram, which means you must pause the video, try to find what is the next white move. Okay? Bishop takes f6, g takes f6. Here Maroczy says equivalent to resignation, black should have recapture with a knight, and gives a line. Okay? Knight d5, king e8, knight takes f6, because this is pin. King e7, rook takes d7, and rook takes d7, queen takes d7, king takes f6, queen takes f7, king g5, h4, king g4, and bishop e2 with check and mate. So it seems that Maroczy wrote a Morphy book, and so follow the footsteps by Morphy. Yeah, this is a thing. Many chess players, high level, they generally study the classic before them in order to improve. So this game, this blindfold game, was from Chess Warrior, the life and games of Geza Maroczy. Please, I think that everybody would learn a lot from buying this book, because honestly it gives you some amazing games and a lot of chess history, so one can really see how difficult was the life of chess player in that time. I hope you will enjoy it.